Good morning, everybody, and good morning, cows. It's 10 o'clock on Wednesday, December 21st, 2022. Today is winter solstice. It's the shortest day of the year. There's a weather front apparently coming through the United States, and it's cold. It got pretty cold last night. Right now it's about 45 degrees. We expect temperatures in the 10s or below the 10s tonight, just before the sun comes up. It's gonna get cold. It's gonna get really cold. And then Friday, there's a chance it might snow a little bit on Thursday. Friday, it's gonna be cold all day, probably below freezing all day. And then Saturday, Sunday, it's gonna start warming up again. So we have a little bit of a cold snap coming. It isn't that unusual. I'd normally expect this to happen in January, February, but yeah, we're practically in January. We're just a few days away from January. So it's not that unusual. Anyway, as you can see, our pasture's still green. I watched Greg Judy's video this morning. He said he filmed it, I think, on November 11th was when he filmed his. And he had his bull mob, which is, I think it's about the same number if you count the calves as cows. The bull mob is about the same size as mine. He keeps them on a smaller area, but he obviously has more grass in that particular part of the pasture. So he moves them once a day, and he gives them less area than I do, but his grass is like 10 times thicker, you know. And it was weird because his grass is brown, and he has fescues in his grass, so that's kind of weird. Anyway, so I'm thinking I might be able to get away with smaller areas when I get more grass. So maybe smaller, tighter, more densely mob grazed grass. This is yesterday versus this morning. Yesterday's on the left, obviously. Maybe if I had a tighter density, I'd get a greater impact on the soil. The issue that I'm concerned about, though, is there's just no grass. So I don't know which came first, chicken or the egg, the grass or the tightly packed, dense mob grazing. Who knows? Maybe I have to do the mob grazing first, and then the grass will come. Maybe that's my strategy next year, is to do more dense grazing. He has those cows, those bulls, on a 60-day rotation, it sounds like. So he comes back to the same spot after 60 days. My rotation right now is, let's see, 25, 65, 100. It's 14 weeks. So what is that, 90 days? So I'm moving slower through the pasture than he is. He has more grass, of course, you know. Maybe that's also a strategy I need to consider, is spending less time on a piece of ground, coming back to it more often. I don't know. A lot to consider about what he's doing with his bull mob and what I'm doing here. The cows aren't complaining too much. I see a lot of hollows. Not too bad, though. Here's number 21, the fattest cow that ever lived on planet Earth. She even has a little bit of a hollow here. She doesn't like to be touched. There's my oldest calf, number 413. I think it's Red's calf. I could be wrong. Here's number 10. I can tell because the droopy ears. Number 10 is half Brahman, so this is a Brangus. This could be the future of my herd right here. Let me try to get close to her. She's always had a slick coat. I don't have anything for you, but she's Brahman, half Angus. This is number 20. She's furry. She was furry throughout the summer too, which meant that she attracted a lot of flies, which is probably why her weight was not getting too well. She does have a hollow here. Where's 24? 24 is my other bad one. Here's 24. So 24 is looking pretty skinny, you know. So if I were judging just based on weight, 21 would stay, 24 would go. Actually, her hollow's not too bad. But I need to judge on calves. They could be the ugliest, skinniest, dirtiest cow in the world, but if they give me good calves, then they stay. And it could be the most beautiful, fancy, fat, slick cow, but if it doesn't give me good calves, it goes, right? That's what they're here for, is to give me good calves. Anyway, that's the situation here. There's Blue. Hello, Blue. All right, guys, take care. Bye-bye.